Good afternoon, everyone. So actually, I would like to uh, stand and present, but I'm not sure the audience from online can be with me or not. So I will sit by sitting here. Okay. Yeah. Uh, so first of all, I would like to thank Professor Kritapon Somma, who provides me a chance to share some basic background on how carbohydrate and new fat can be involved and how can support fermentation and uh, energy in order to allow the dairy cows to produce us more milk and more meat, improve the quality of milk for the human. So I will start from the basic background of the metabolism of carbohydrate and some background the substrate that important to supply for beef cattle. So the objective of my lecture can be provide everyone understand the carbohydrate metabolism in dairy cows and explain how VFA can be produced and then how they can apply into the essential nutrient for the dairy cows. The last one is very important one, like Professor Visitipon already presented that milk fat has been one indicator to evaluate the quality of milk. So there are some linkage between carbohydrate metabolism and milk fat. So this is the basic background, the principle how there are the differences between ruminant and non-ruminants. So when we look at the main feed source, sure, for ruminant, they like to consume lavages like rice straw or um, in gas. However, the non-ruminant animal like swine or poultry, so they like to consume concentrate. Even though some species of animal like swine, they can consume some fiber, like um, they can ferment or utilize in the cecum. But the main one is concentrate, not right rough fish. So when we look at the digestive physiology, ruminant they have four component stomach. The main one is rumen that can act on the fiber digestion, and another one the differences with the ruminant. This one in non-ruminant group find some enzyme increase from their body and break down molecule of nutrient. When we talk about the end products in ruminants, sure, be it volatile fatty acid or VFA may be the main one when the animal break down fiber source and some microbial cells can be generated during fermentation in the rumen, and this one can serve as the protein or amino source like Professor Anand has been provided this morning, and some uh, gas like methane we would not prefer to produce in the rumen. So several researchers try to reduce the methane production in non-ruminant animal. So glucose is the main one supply for energy production and support the growth and wool or milk for them. So the metabolism of end products, like DNA, can generate or change to the glucose, as well as some profile volatile fatty acid can be supplied for fatty acid synthesis. And non-ruminant, they can only use directly glucose as the energy source. Then the final products, they use all nutrient or support their abilities metabolize and milk and some storage. So this is the differences between these species of the animal. So this one very basically of principal ruminant feeding. So we need dairy cows produce more milk, more quality. So we need to maintain or improvement the rumen micro for that healthy. They can we should make a good environment in the rumen in order to allow our rumen microbes to break down more fiber or more diet. So after that, rumen microbe can be produced more end products, including VFA, microbial protein, and other substance. So this substance produced from rumen microbe will be beneficial for dairy cows to support their products, milk, quality, as well as their growth. So this slide summarizes the importance of carbohydrate for dairy cows. So the first one can be confirmed that carbohydrate serve as energy source for dairy cows. Energy source and the carbohydrate source can affect on milk yield and milk composition. The last one, without carbohydrate, so the rumen cannot work well and cannot produce any substance for dairy cows. So when we talk about carbohydrate source for dairy cows, the first component very important. Without roughages, dairy cow cannot survive. We cannot provide only concentrate diet for dairy cows. When we talk about concentrate diet in the representative of fiber source, we can survive, we can partition it into four components. The first one like fiber composition, such as cellulose and hemicellulose, and another one starch and sugar. So when we feeding roughages, for example, the wheat grass, there are quite differences for chemical composition. When we harvest the young one, raise mature, so we can provide more starch and soluble sugar. So with this one we can call non-structural carbohydrate that can be contained in the roughages sauce. However, when we correct forage sauce at the high or more mature, it can be get high fiber composition, fiber composition, and low sugar and starch. So this one can let the animal low digestibility and may affect on the animal performance, particularly in high producing milk cows. So we need to determine which state we need to harvest it, get grass, and then feed it to dairy cows. So this one is very important when we talk about ruminant or dairy cows. We just manipulate the rumen in the normal condition. So we expected that if we can maintain like pH in the normal condition, like 6.5 to 7, or temperature at 39 degrees Celsius, it will be suitable for rumen microbe. So they can survive in the anaerobic condition with the population suitable with bacteria, protozoa, and fungi. So they can work well on feed consumed here. Then they can synthesize and generate like volatile fatty acid, and they can synthesize their cell by combining of ammonia or amino acids into microbial protein. So this one can serve as the amino acids for dairy cows. So another nutrient like a protein or carbohydrate, some of them may bypass from the rumen into the small intestine or abomasum, so they can break down with the low temperature and absorption in the small intestine into the form of glucose or amino acid. So when we look at what happened in the rumen with the dynamics during fermentation, you can see here, after the animal fed with the diet, both larvae and concentrate, the predominance of rumen microbes like bacteria, fungi, or protozoa can be digest the feed that animal consume and change the form into the small molecule of the nutrient like the sugar. So microbes can absorb this molecule into their cell for their growth, and then another end products may be generated and accrete into the rumen, such as yes, acetate, propionate, and butyrate. So this volatile fatty acid will be absorbed via the rumen wall and supply for animal utilization for goat, meat, milk, or wool. However, several different feeding regimes may be support rumen microbe. Some species they can use hydrogen and carbon dioxide that produced during fermentation process. Its name is methanogenic bacteria. So this species can be combined hydrogen and carbon dioxide to synthesize methane. The methane can erupt via the mouth and make the environmental impact like uh, global methane or greenhouse gas. So several researchers they would like to reduce or inhibit the mechanism of methane synthesis of methanogen. This one focus on some different feed resources when we feeding the high carbohydrate source that contain both fiber source and starch source. The main one of bacteria in the rumen can act different based on substance. For example, when we provide rough source, the main bacteria that can be act on this situation we call cellulolytic bacteria. Cellulolytic bacteria. So this group of bacteria they prefer when we feeding high fiber, high fiber. So they like temperature environment with high level, normally 6.5 to 7 of pH. They will work well on fiber digestion. For example, this one, the main one of cellulolytic bacteria, right? Fibrobacter succinogenes, butyriphio fibrisolvens, Luminococcus albus, or Luminococcus babefaciens will be more appear when we feeding breakfast diet base. And another groups when we feeding non-structural carbohydrate, right? Starch and sugar. Another group of bacteria can be more occurred to digest starch. So they like the pH lower than uh, 5, lower than 6 to 5.5 of pH. For example, that can be work on digestion of starch like Streptococcus Pseudomonas luminantium. So this one can be worked with. Another bacteria groups, they like to uh, utilization, the end products when we feeding a high level of concentrate diet. So the diet can be generate more lactic acid, with this one, this substance can lead the lumen pH reduce. However, we found that even though we feeding a high level of concentrate diet, but they have in the rumen still have some bacteria can utilize lactic acid content. It's called Megaspira elsdini. This one can be occur much when we feeding starch and sugar. However, when we feeding more than optimum level, non-bacteria in the rumen cannot survive, as well. We need to balance between Raffaello's sauce and starch and sugar as well. So what about another species of rumen microbe? Sure, fungi. They can act on fiber digestion and can grow on the particle of feed by dip their lysol into the particle of feed. So this feed can be easier breakdown by the bacteria. And also protozoa in the rumen, they can generate some cellulolytic enzyme that it can help fiber digestion as well as starch. They can increase some enzyme breakdown amylose or amylopectin. However, another role of protozoa, so they can engulf bacteria in the rumen. This means that when in the rumen has high content of protozoa, bacteria might be decreased as well. Another mode of action of protozoa who work on methane genesis. We found that several reports has been found that remove protozoa from the rumen can be reduced methane as well. Why remove protozoa from the rumen can reduce methane? They are reported that in the surface of protozoa will be attracted by methanogenic bacteria. So when we remove protozoa, not only protozoa come out from the rumen, but also methanogenic bacteria. The last one, methane, can be reduced. Okay, let's move to what happened with the carbohydrate metabolism in the rumen. So this figure draft by Vatiov since 2014 with the Wisconsin medicine in the United States provide the mechanism quite clear. Start from animal consume the forage or gain until synthesis of milk, mast cell, or adipose tissue that can be stored some triglyceride or lipid. So this is the principle of carbohydrate metabolism. What happens when we feeding the carbohydrate to dairy cows? So feed digestion can be provide essential nutrient like glucose. But during digestion in the rumen, we need to maintain the pH. pH should be in the suitable of for bacteria digestion. So carbohydrate can support microbial activity where support the rumination, support pH, as well as support the digestion of feed easier, and some nutrient may be support for microbial rumen microbe to synthesize their cell to supply the protein. And this one, when we talk about with carbohydrate metabolism, we cannot skip. It's very important. We call it one profile of VFA like propionate. This one serves as energy for the animal, serve as energy. And sometimes more energy available, though no need energy. Carbohydrate or energy can be, or glucose can be stored in the form of glycogen. Glycogen. And glucose that provides from propionate can supply for milk lactose and fat synthesis, as well as growth and production. And another end product fermentation of carbohydrate like acetate or butyrate. This butyrate can be supply for substrate for fat synthesis. This one can be used as energy source as well when can be synthesized fat. So when we go into the detail of mechanism of carbohydrate in the rumen, we call digestion and absorption. You can see here when we feeding forage and gain in the rumen here, there are several rumen microbes that I mentioned before that they will support together to break down cellulose, hemicellulose from fibrotic bacteria, and they can break down starch or sugar by amylolytic bacteria. So the end products is glucose. So the glucose can be used for bacteria or rumen microbe growth. Then the residue that can be increased from the rumen microbe cell is volatile fatty acid here. And some gas like carbon dioxide or methane can be generated during bacteria or microbe fermentation. So glucose can supply for energy and use for bacteria growth and get VFA. In addition, some nutrient like we feeding forage or get some nutrient like high fiber composition or high lignin, it cannot be digested anymore. So the animal can be increased via the feces, yeah, particularly high lignin. So we need to balance the lignin composition. So another one from gate bypass from the rumen until small intestine. This we can indicate like bypass starch. So this one can serve directly for glucose for the animal, but naturally it's not too much for bypass starch in the grain, except we have some methodology to protect or improve our starch before feeding to the animal. So glucose, this one in the small intestine can be absorbed via the small intestine wall and support for the animal for growth and for production. This one we call metabolism in the rumen to get volatile fatty acid. So this one very complicated for the mechanism of VFA synthesis. Just summarize again that there are several step by step. Start from the animal consume carbohydrate salt, change to pyruvate and get the propionate to mechanism butyrate, acetate, and methane here. Okay. So that's a bit here. After the one high fatty acids decrease from bacteria cell can be get two products. The two products in the rumen can absorb via rumen wall and sent to bloodstream. What happened after three profile of volatile fatty acid provides and sent to bloodstream. Propionate can be sent to the liver. Propionate. What the liver process? What the liver process in the liver can be a change or convert propionate into glucose After get the glucose, so glucose can send or transport to the target organ, which organ need like great brain or cell memory gland or tissue, so they can send. The mechanism change of propionate into the glucose in the liver we call gluconeogenesis. This one occur in the liver by use propionate as substrate. Okay. Another two like acetate and butyrate can send into the liver and send to the target organ via bloodstream, and send like if the mammary gland they need substrate to synthesize fatty acid. So this volatile fatty acid profile can serve as substrate to synthesize fatty acid. So how can we optimize feeding of carbohydrate in order to support substrate for volatile fatty acid? So when we feeding the high fiber in the diet, like grass or rice straw, the end products in the rumen can be generate more proportion of acetate and butyrate. But when we feeding a high proportion of starch or sugar, the end products can be generated by bacteria in the rumen like propionate, and some case high starch or high amylose may be served for lactic acid, and sugar can be laboratory fermentation in the rumen. So we need to control and balance among fiber and starch. So this one, the general information with volatile fatty acid profile. So in the rumen of dairy cow can produce 100 to 150 millimole of per liter of rumen fluid of VFA. However, when we feeding different feeding regimes, this proportion may be changed. More than 70%, more than 70% volatile fatty acid might support for energy for dairy cows. This means that if we would like to provide more energy for dairy cows, volatile fatty acid may be one option to improve the energy to meet their requirement. This one, the typical ratio of C2 stands for acetate, propionate, and butyrate. This one, the abbreviation of the VFA profile. Normally, when we feeding at the normal sulfate to concentrate ratio, this one acetate can be occur at 65, 20 for propionate, and 50 for butyrate. Then the ratios when we fed high forage diet, the ratio may be 3 to 1 for acetate to propionate. But if we change feeding high concentrate diet, the ratio may change like 2 to 1 or lower, depend on the feeding regime that we produce to dairy cows. With the normal rumen pH as I mentioned before. So what about some acetate pathway where they go? So this one is served for the precursor for milk fat synthesis, the main one. when we feeding the high proportion of fiber, acetate can provide high proportion. So another pathway of propionate. So this one can use as the substrate for glucogenesis at the liver via the gluconeogenesis cycle. So this can convert glucose and send to another target organ that they require glucose. However, there are uh, several substrate that can be supplied for glucose, like a glycerol or other product can supply. The last one, butyrate metabolism. So actually, after they produce in the rumen, so they can they can generate like a ketone body that can serve as energy source when they need. So ketone body can store both tissue and the liver. So this table show the factor affecting on volatile fatty acid in the rumen, with the factor like different phosphate to concentrate ratio. The proportion of acetate may be increased, propionate can be reduced. But when we look at the carbohydrate types, structural carbohydrate and non-structural carbohydrate is also can be provide the different ratio of acetate to propionate. Talk about fiber particle size, the long particle size and fine gliding maybe provides different proportion of acetate or propionate. Rumen pH, as I mentioned before, that the low pH can be support for propionate, but the high pH may be support for cellulolytic bacteria. They can provide more acetate. The change of microbial population can be influenced on profile of volatile fatty acid as well, like cellulolytic bacteria or amylolytic bacteria. The last one can be effect on volatile fatty acid like feeding efficiency, stable feeding, maintain acetate, consistent feeding support the stable of propionate. This one can be the main effect that on volatile fatty acid that we can apply to optimize the volatile fatty acids for our cattle. So this some academics publication, they show some report that when feeding the low concentrate or high concentrate here, then they analyze in the rumen fluid, the results demonstrate that the low concentrate, it means that the high fiber can be improved or increase proportion of acetic. However, when feeding of high concentrate here, HC, you can see that propionate concentration can be increased from 17 to 24% when change or shift of feeding regime. So it means that when the animal they require more glucose during the producing more milk, so high concentrate may be considered to feeding to the animal. But we do not forget fiber feeding as well. Okay, so let's move on the metabolism after volatile fatty acid absorbed to the blood. What happened after get the substrate like glucose, ketone body, or other substrate? For example, in a muscle, glucose or ketone body can be served as energy source for like activity of the animal, work and rumination or maintain their body. So volatile fatty acid or glucose that provide from propionate can be supplied as energy. Similarly, so another type of poor tissue. So they need some substrate like the body or aspect to serve as uh, fat inside in the form of fat, right? As well as glycerol can be converted from glucose as substrate for fatty acid. Another typical body or aspect and aspect of glucose and transfer to nitrogen to support milk uh, production as well as fat in milk. So this substrate and fats and it can operate for glucose and glucose and glucose is shared to the form of glycerol when to get fats in the form of sugar in the milk. So this was the overall of the that apply for muscle and for tissue as well as memory gland. So as mentioned before, that not only glucose, uh, propionate can be explained, but another source when uh, the animal consume more like lactate, lactic acid in the rumen that can serve as glucose substrate. And another one, glycerol, that break down for lipid. Lipid liquidation can provide free fatty acid and glycerol. So glycerol can serve as substrate for glucose development. And another one, and another source can be served as glucose synthesis, like some amino acids. Animal can mobilize their cell, their body, and then serve as amino acid breakdown, shape their form into the pyruvate and support for glucose. So in case the animal not sufficient uh, pyruvate, propionate or glucose. So another source can be served for glucose liquid. So this one, the glucose used in memory gland, used for what? Sure, for the sugar in milk. That's also critical will be explained on. And another one, glucose can serve as energy metabolism. So without glucose, without propionate, so the animal cannot survive or cannot produce any more milk for dairy cows. So um, lactation period, the high producing dairy cow, we found that mostly animal might be not have energy for their energy. They need energy after they got the baby. We found that during this period, they occur with the raw feed intake, leading to the animal receive a low of energy as well as protein. We call negative energy balance during this period. So if we not manage between the nutrient, both carbohydrate, both fiber or starch, might be not allow the animal to maintain their milk production. So during this period, the animal require high glucose. High glucose, where glucose the dairy cow receive the first one digestion of carbohydrate, of fiber or concentrate. If they are not sufficient, the high quality of forage, not sufficient of uh, non-structural carbohydrate, so the glucose may be not enough. So we need to look at this one. In some case, the animal they cannot consume anymore. They try to mobilize, like body reserve, for example, fat. They mobilize fat to supply for glucose synthesis. Some case they remove a lot of fatty acids. Then some free fatty acid may generate like ketone body. So this one can make the animal not abnormal their state. So we need to balance the feeding regime of the animal. There are some reports during the lactation time. So, much volume of fat can be mobilized in order to meet their requirement, meet their need for milk production or maintain their body during milking cows. So you can see that in this case, when the animal in the high producing cow, glucose not sufficient, so they need to mobilize some feed, some fat come out from their cells. And in this case, may leach of people, but people pay more for medicine to maintain outcome. So we need to optimal feeding. Some case, this what is some approach can be reduced, or help our animal to maintain glucose. We so some European countries they have some products like rumen that glucose. Then this one can be recommended to add during the dairy cow produce high milk. So this one can avoid the dairy cow to be the ketosis. So the reports from China, they demonstrate that supplementation of glucose protected in the rumen from the rumen and utilize in small intestine of body. So supplement at 450 grams per day that can be increased milk production as well as improve metabolic profile and maybe avoid the ketosis status of the dairy cows. By the way, so we move to another session like milk fat synthesis. Some basic background Professor Visit report already provides for to everyone, so I can quickly. So fatty acid profile, the synthesis might be from the C2 stand for acetate, right? Acetate will be used as substrate for milk fat synthesis. So some microbes they can help to change the form of fatty acids in order to avoid the toxicity for their cells and change the form of fatty acids. So both one can be served as key for milk fat. Another source for milk fat synthesis like the lipid contained in the diet that we provide to the animal. So like in the form of triglyceride that we add like fat from plant or fat from animal. So we add then this one can serve as a step for fatty acid synthesis. When feeding of lipid in the diet, in the rumen can change the form in several pathway like hydrogenation or biohydrogenation to change no toxic or lipid. And some lipid may be bypassed into the abomasum or small intestine. And some methodology to improve the utilization of lipid like calcium salt in order to avoid the toxicity to bacteria and reduce fiber digestion. So this one support for both that the animal can get more milk when we improve the acid synthesis. So the animal can get more healthy source when feeding lipid and can support growth and what the basic background of lipid metabolism like feeding deer or mouse, fatty lipid in the form of breakdown into the form of glycerol and three molecules of fatty acid. So if you look like what happened, there are two mechanisms be occur like hydrolysis change the form of glycerol. And the free fatty acid can be transferred to the pathway of biohydrogenation to get the short chain fatty acid, and then the fatty acid can transport into the uh, small intestine in the form of micelle and transport by lymphatic lymphatic cells and sent to tissue that need that fatty acid like mammary gland or adipose tissue. So there are several fatty acids that has been introduced in order to improve the milk fat, like linoleic acid, like Professor specific mentioned, linoleic acid or oleic acid that can be served for fatty acid in the milk. Some mentioned proposed by Bowman, the researcher at Cornell University. When we analyzed the chemical of milk, we found that CLA that we provide in the feed, or some case we did not provide CLA in the feed, but why milk fat can be occur with CLA. So they propose that when feeding linoleic acid here in the rumen can be absorbed into the adipose tissue directly. So this CLA can be synthesized into the CLA in milk as well. So this the overall of how fat fatty acid synthesis in mammary gland. So they have two pathway. The first one, both the substance can be provided from the rumen fermentation and by bacteria. So they can generate two profile of volatile fatty acid like acetate and butyrate. Acetate and butyrate. This one can support and send to mammary gland and synthesize for free fatty acid. And the final compound, triglyceride. So, and another one is the agriculture can also support for substrate to synthesize the fatty acid in mammary gland. Uh, right now, when we talk about the methodology to improve fat or lipid utilization, or we call protected fat, why we need to uh, provide fat bypass into from the rumen into the stomach or small intestine. We found that standard price normal cut with feeding of dietary choline and saturated fatty acids. So actually the rumen can change the from unsaturated fatty acid into saturated dietary. But in terms of feeding unsuitable feeding regime like high concentrate or high fat supplement, it can be interfere the rumen fermentation during the pathway of biohydrogenation. So this when we alter the rumen fermentation, the form one form acids like tryptophan, this 12 CLA that's generated from these products may be occur. So when this substance occurs, this one can act on fuel whenever we interfere the mechanism of biohydrogenation. This one can be occur and this substance can inhibit milk fat synthesis because milk fat depletion syndrome. So we need to consider that we need to provide more dairy cows, get more energy. We add a lot of fatty acid of the mechanism of milk fat. following like from sentences well, no, that may limit like for generating like natural and in fact exists. So this one again to summarize when we feeding a lot of grain, what happened? Some background activity, some multitasking might be accommodate inside in memory plan. Finally, the milk composition may be lower in infant. So this is what I thought that we try to improve the quality of control, control with another oil, but and the oil as still can be treated almost two times when feeding when segmentation of so so this one can be used in another uh, methodology or approach to improve the CLA. Improve CLA, this means the milk quality improved can enhance price as well, right? So this when feeding the level of foreign and different levels. So you can see that the milk fat can be improved with enhancing of proportion of rampage. But the high volume of concentrate means that low fiber, low B fat can be reduced. So the last slide, guys, the interaction between of the fermentation characteristic in the rumen. All right, videos of you can see that when we click the formats, different but increase the then the acid and what happened negative negative because we can apply for feeding the dairy farm, feeding the animal to get more milk or get more feed, more fat. So thank you very much for your